Well, we have to do the newspapers. Amavi, good morning to you. How are you? How was your weekend?
Good morning. It was good.
You look immaculate in black.
Yeah, thank you. This is actually a birthday gift. Yeah, from Evelyn Amponsa. She heads HR at Agenda Publications. She gave me this as a birthday gift.
She's not trying to poach you.
No, she's not.
Did she attach some books too?
Oh, I have a lot of books from Agenda Publications.
Wow.
So yeah.
But I like the way you did the black and then put the wonderful colorful thing on it. It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had to when I got
it. A style icon.
Yeah.
Don't mess.
When I got it, I was thinking, okay, what can I do with it? And I figured if I do black, it should work.
Yeah.
So Evelyn Amponsa of Agenda Publications, thank you very much. This is a perfect gift. Thank you. I love it.
Really good. You know,
Thank you.
like a top aide of president or something.
Aide then. Why she looks like a president?
Thank you, Kojo.
You're very welcome.
Why should I be an aide?
Okay, because I know you're not political, so backroom work at the presidency is good for you.
Backroom. At least give me some chief of staff. Be crying.
Don't put you at the main.
But how was your weekend, the two of you?
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a relaxing time. I didn't work throughout, so yes.
We had the pop chain all-star.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Did you sing?
I missed.
I wish. No, I had the pleasure of speaking to the patrons. I told them about the Sugar Project and what we've been doing and what we did with their money that we raised last year, and showed them some videos, and they were all very impressed and very excited. And look, these are the top of society.
True.
Who turned
there are judges, the people that you regularly would not see who patronize the pop chain.
In fact, our second pop chain 2 years ago had the vice president, the former vice president, Pakwisi Misata, as one of our guests. And he donated generously to the Sugar Project while he was there. He came with his friends. They took a table. He didn't want any ceremony, so they just sat somewhere on the edge of the room, and and he was interacting with everyone. His security were quite, accommodating. It was a lovely night. I'll never forget it. And last night was no exception. I think this might be, I'll wait for the figures to come out, but it might be our most successful pop chain
so far.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations to you guys.
What was the target? How much did you intend raising?
Well, last year, I think we raised, we made quite a bit from the event, but then we have to pay off the venue and all that. So by the end of it, I think we had under 20,000 left for the Sugar Project. This year we wanted to top that, obviously. We didn't set a specific target above it, but we wanted to top it. So our fingers are crossed that we've managed to do that.
Nice, nice. This is another success of ours. And over the weekend, of course, we won the Media Organization of the Year, the CIMG Awards. And then the morning show on Adom FM also got the Radio Program of the Year. So congratulations to our team and, all of you who made it possible.
Yeah.
I think CIMG is perhaps still one of the most credible award schemes in this country.
True.
So it means a lot that multimedia has been given this honor.
It does.
It just shows that we've done our business better than our competitors, and to be recognized by CIMG is no small thing. But it's all thanks to you, our audience, the people for whom we wake up every morning.
Absolutely.
You have made us great. And so this award, we hope you can share the pleasure of winning it.
It's for all of you.
But we shouldn't forget, the ultimate man of the year is the man who heads Magdan Shipping, and so we'll be talking to him this morning. Kojo will be doing that live.
Dr. Daniel Macaulay.
Yeah.
He has, I don't like to call it a head office. I like to call it a tower. He has a tower in East Legon, and we'll be going there later to talk with the man himself. Yeah.
Great.
Find out how he managed to pull off this prestigious honor.
Okay, let's do the newspapers, but of course we keep an eye on the hot air balloon, courtesy Cowbell. It's been flying, it's taken off already. These two guys filled you in, but we'll be monitoring, especially when it lands, and if you want to be on it, we'll tell you how you can take advantage. And it's a whole week, so we have a long way to go. But let's do the newspapers.
Let's do that. Start with the finder? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll fix Amidu's needs. That's President Akufo-Addo. He says his office is very dear to Ghanaians. He says this while in the United States, I believe. We'll talk about that. Also, Samira Baumia adjudged 2018 African Woman of Excellence. Congratulations to her. Theft of litter bins in Accra, alarming. And free SHS, Comfort Lord's government. On the front page of the Business and Financial Times, we have economy worth 256 billion Ghana cedis after rebasing. I think they're talking about last year's figures. Government to leverage future mineral revenue. New fund to raise 750 million US non-debt capital. Leveraging the future. Let's find out what that entails. Zenith Bank obtains ISO 27011:2013 at PCI DSS certifications. So catchy, isn't it? Yes, I can see the children reciting this all morning. Also, businesses must prepare for turbulent times, and that is an admonition from Professor Latte. On the back page, Air France unveils new look A330, economy premium and economy cabins. Now, I can't wait to see this aircraft actually. Built for Air France by Airbus, and I hear it's something beautiful. I can't wait to see it. Economy premium and economy cabins looking delightful in these pictures. Right then, there you go.
All right, so Mama, what we do?
I've got the Daily Graphic newspaper. You were asking if we can do the Daily Guide.
No, if we can do the Daily Graphic.
Okay, all right. Front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Death traps on Ofankor-Nsawam highway. Drivers create 74 illegal U-turns. And it's my route every day, so I'm very familiar with this. On the front page, a trotro driver making an illegal U-turn onto a busy highway. That picture by Maxwell Oklu, and the details of that on page 3. Also on the front page, bill on election of MMDCEs submitted to Parliament. President returns home. I'm sure over the weekend you heard about an incident with his private jet, well, with our private jets. That is confirmed on page 16. We'll get to that in a bit.
Is it our private jet?
Yes.
Have we started it before?
He sits in it on our behalf.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Magdan CEO adjudged Marketing Man 2017. He's our guest later on here on the AM show. Back page of the paper, Newmont Ahafo Foundation constructs projects in Bono Ahafo region, and 54 babies die at Sunyai Hospital due to lack of incubators. Let's see. Center spread national service scheme improves with technology. It's very pictorial. It's a special feature in the center spread of the paper. Roland, let's do the Daily Guide.
Yeah, so let's do the Daily Guide. Newspaper has on the front page, presidential jet in danger. Samira gets international award. Assemblyman shot dead. But other stories also occupying the Daily Guide. Actually, the main banner headline, free SHS to go, with an exclamation mark, threatens Mahama. And then
I thought he said he would.
Yeah, so we have the back page full of.
He didn't say he was going to scrap it.
I think many have taken their own meanings as they always do.
So we have the back page. Get us the gold. Minister charges Queens. Kotoko seal a corner deal today, and Datsun left MTN Golf. But the Daily Dispatch newspaper has on the front page, one-on-one with Sylvester Mensah. It's in the insider pages of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Main story, NTA wants Joy FM, Star FM, City FM, Peace FM, Empire FM, Fox FM, and Angel FM. Limit coverage to 45 kilometers or we shut you down. We also have Ghana not against Nigerian businesses, Trade Minister. And, you know, I'll give you a gist of what this is all about and how we need to make sure that we keep the tempo right up between the two countries. Summary report of domestic violence in Ghana. That is on page 5 of the paper. Okay, so summarily, you go to the back page, it just expatiates on the front page story. So those are the stories we have.
Indeed. Okay, shall I run through the Ghanaian Times quickly before we settle for some details? Government loses 120 billion Ghana cedis annually due to the non-implementation of the Rent Act. I think we know what the Rent Act contains and what we are failing to implement on an ongoing basis. Also, don't trust NDC with free SHS policy, President admonishes Ghanaians. McDonough judged Marketing Man of the Year 2017. And creation of new regions, not tribal, according to Kojo Ofankor-Nkrumah. Now, I have something. I've been writing something about the creation of the new regions. If we get time one of these days, I'll give a bit of a summary to you guys. I have some thoughts. Okay, that's it.
Where do we start?
Shall we start with these in the Finder? I don't know if you have anything there, but I have these two in the Finder I want to touch on very, very quickly. Both on page 8. So the first one is the president saying that we will fix Martin Amidu's needs. He says, okay, so we know Martin Amidu has been complaining, talking about lack of resources, non-cooperation of public officials, and of course the LI that he needs to operationalize the act that set up the office. So since he hasn't got the LI, he's been using his common sense. The president says to the American community, very soon all of you will see the office is functional. People say the special prosecutor is too slow. We demand action, so and so. I will tell him when I get back. Yeah. Mr. President, please don't come and tell him. I think he knows. That's why he's complaining and talking about the things that you need to do so that he can do his job. Why don't you just do that? Don't come and tell him. He knows. All right. Any thoughts on that before I mention the next one?
I think that we talked about this the last week, and summarily we said that whatever it is that he needs for his work, he needs to do it. But if you also look at other criticisms related to him coming out publicly, it's got to do with the fact that could he have done some work, even in the meantime, as we wait for him to be provided with these facilities? I mean,
for example,
when he was a citizen, ordinarily, he was being called a citizen vigilante, so to speak.
So you want him to
go
outside?
So if you could do so much, if you could do so much as a citizen vigilante, I think he could have done some more also, because I don't think that,
like
even though,
what do you think he could have done?
Well, he still has a number of the state institutions at his beck and call.
Beck and call?
Yeah,
which ones?
Definitely. The BNI is available. We have other related institutions that he can cooperate with, because he has those officials who manage those institutions still around him to work with closely.
You mean like how he collaborated with the Auditor General?
But did you hear him say that he wasn't getting information from appointees of the president?
Well, if you want information from the appointees, for example, if somebody is managing a ministry, the best information you can get is from the Auditor General's department or the internal auditor.
I think they should just fix him. They should just fix him, that's all. Just give him what he requires.
That's not the best information you can get. It depends on what you're investigating. You know, it may be...
How hard can that be? Resource him and let him work. If the office is so important to us, we set it up for a reason, for a purpose.
Yes. And if it wasn't just a political gimmick, then make sure the office can work.
That's
I think the onus falls on the president.
I think the office will work when it has to work.
But the president says he's going to fix it, right?
No, he says he'll come and tell him. So I mean, to be fair, he has raised 3 problems. He says lack of resources, non-cooperation of public officials and investigative bodies.
What was he expecting? That everything will be so smooth?
I don't understand your question.
No, seriously, because
so
I think that him coming
things
publicly
are not
to complain,
smooth, so he's solving them.
And
by telling those whose
I don't
job
think coming
it is.
public is the way to go.
All right. Anyway, I was saying there were 3 things that he has mentioned: lack of resources, non-cooperation of public officials and investigative bodies, and then lack of legislative instrument, the LI. Now, I agree with you on one thing. I agree that regarding the non-cooperation of public officials, he has some options. For example, he can take them to court. While he's awaiting an LI that might give him more teeth, he can take them to court and compel them to give information. Just like if I want information from a state institution, I can take them to court and compel them. Even doing that would demonstrate what is wrong with our system, so that those who are interested in fixing it can jump in and fix it. So I agree. He could take some further action on that one thing. But he can't give himself resources. and he can't give himself an ally. So I think we have to make sure that those who are supposed to do that, do it. That's fair, isn't it?
Well.
All right. And also, I mean, we criticize when people don't do the right thing. I think we should also congratulate when people do the right thing. Today, Multimedia has won a CIMG award. Adum FM's morning show has won an award. And of course, we'll be speaking to Magdan, who won an award. Well, someone else who won an award is the second lady. She's a global ambassador for the Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stoves. I'm talking, of course, of Mrs. Mrs. Samira Baumia. Now, let me ask you this. Mama V, do you know of SEP?
The SEP?
SEP.
No. You probably want to give the full name.
I'm sure there are many people who don't know of it. SEP, S-E-H-P, is the Samira Empowerment and Humanitarian Project.
You knew about it until now?
I had heard of it, but I'm sure there are many who haven't.
Is that the only foundation she's got?
Yes.
Okay, so I've heard about the things she does with the foundation, but in terms of the name, no.
The name, you see, that I wonder, perhaps that should be something she should focus on, trying to get the message of what she does out there, because according to this story, there's quite a lot. I was surprised. They have something called a Safe Delivery Project.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that project.
So
because,
they want to distribute
Justice Baby also did something.
Yeah, 100,000 birth kits to expectant mothers in their third trimester. This is a kit that has all the important birthing first aid things. That's very important. They also have something, they've been retooling some health facilities. They retooled the Tamale Teaching Hospital, 4 health centers, 10 community-based health planning and services, that's CHIPS compounds, with medical and surgical equipment, as well as medical consumables. This is big. We're always talking about hospitals not having equipment. If somebody is doing something about it, they really ought to do better to put the story out there. They have something called Library in a Box. They've distributed 35,000 books. Okay, they want to get 40,000 pupils to benefit from these books. So there's a lot going on that we are not hearing of.
This is how we can hear of what she's doing. We have to measure the impacts of these projects. Otherwise, just announcing and saying that I've distributed so and so amounts, I have done this, people will not really appreciate. But if we're able to measure how much this is impacting on the lives of the people in those areas, then yes.
But they themselves ought to do the measurement and put the information out there. But
besides, it's not everything that you do that you want out there. Sometimes you just, if it's a humanitarian thing you're doing, you just want to touch.
Well, the truth is that not everybody does good to society and people or marginalized communities and want it out there for everybody to see. But
sometimes you just do it.
Because sometimes you hear that people do a lot of things and you never hear of it, but maybe if they're awarded one way or the other, then you get it.
Yes, like what is happening now. So she was awarded, I believe, in South Africa. By the way, she's also worked with the UN to launch something called Coalition of People Against Sexual and Gender-Based Violence and Harmful Practices.
It's all taking place in Ghana?
Yes, she's doing all this in Ghana. That I think is important. I think that's a good one.
Okay, let's do the graphic. This story on page 18 is absolutely important. It says the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has presented to Parliament a bill on the amendment of some articles in the 1992 Constitution. The amendment, when passed, will allow Ghanaians to vote for metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives. The articles slated for amendments are Article 2431 on the appointment of MMDCs by the President and Article 55.3, which prohibits the involvement of political parties in district-level elections. So a Deputy Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Obi Amoah, disclosed this at a retreat on multi-party participation in local governance in Ghana at Big Ada. So this took place Friday, Saturday. Details of that in the paper. You might want to check this out. Quickly on the president's aircraft, right? So we heard about the fact that when the plane took off.
20 minutes or 30 minutes into the air.
That's all been confirmed by Kojo Ofankor, exactly. So there was a fault with one of the engines, and so they had to go back and they had to take a commercial flight. I think it was South African Airlines. That's what I heard. That's not in the paper though.
Okay.
So some of the members were able to make it on that commercial flight because this was almost an emergency.
Okay.
And the others had to return to the hotel. Hopefully
and
they come back today.
All right. The thing is that this shows that we need a new presidential aircraft.
Really?
But what's wrong with this one? I thought you would say that let's fix whatever problem. if an engine has developed a fault,
so we need a
why not fix it?
We need a new presidential aircraft. We need a new presidential aircraft. If the aircraft that currently is being used by our president.
But they say this is not the first time actually.
First developed a fault way back in 2015, I'm told, based on what I'm reading.
Yeah, so we need a new one.
And subsequently, we've had the current president having all these difficulties. We need a new presidential aircraft.
We do. What should we do with this one?
Approximately. I go to Winners Chapel, so Dr. Oyedepo has aircraft. I know the last time the church bought it for $35 million. I don't think it's bad at all.
Oh, you're interesting, Roland.
I don't think it is bad at all if the president sanctions purchase for a new aircraft.
For the education of the public, it's not uncommon for aircraft to develop faults.
If it develops too many faults, that's dangerous for our president. That's the whole point. That's what is not uncommon.
Let me just finish the
Please finish.
Education.
I've concluded for you, but you
It's
finish.
not uncommon for aircrafts to develop faults. They get repaired and they get parts replaced all the time over their lifespan. What is not very common is if the fault happens while you are airborne, because there are so many checks that are done to an aircraft before you take off. So that if you do have a fault, it ought to be spotted.
Are you saying that you are saying that's common?
No, I'm saying
that's what you said.
I'm saying that is not common. For the faults to occur
corrected yourself.
while you are. No, I didn't.
We need. Oh wow.
So just
we need a new presidential aircraft, and I think that is
the fact that a fault has occurred during this flight.
That is
does not
undebatable.
mean that the aircraft is
We
not
need
fit
a new
for purpose.
presidential aircraft.
Like all other aircraft around the world, they will have faults, they will have parts replaced over their lifespan.
When the president is in the air for 30 minutes and he develops a fault, that's dangerous to our president.
Should be replaced is whether
I think we need a new presidential aircraft.
Its lifespan, and all models of aircraft have a lifespan.
The good thing is that you're not the president.
Some questions
you can't sanction
about
for
the
an
lifespan of
aircraft to
our
be
aircraft.
purchased.
A private presidential jet, if it has exceeded that lifespan, then yes, it will need to be replaced. If not, then let's fix it and move on.
We need a new president. We'll go online. But we have to launch National Cyber Security Awareness Month. We also have Manson Kwanta killings. We won't rest until report is released, according to family. We have the next story. And government pledges 1% GDP to support STEM. We've got to do with science and mathematics and engineering, as well as technology learning or development. Assembly bans use of lorry tires for meat processing. And Kojo doesn't take meat, so I know that he won't be captured in the endangered citizens.
No, I am a carnivore.
Okay. Let's tighten our belt for our children, Finance Minister. I thought the story was intriguing. We've been tightening our belts for so long. We have to tighten it further.
At this time for our children.
Well, but the president needs a new aircraft. I mean, we'll tighten the belt for it. And then Kanye West. Kanye West has
gone.
dictated the pace by changing his name to Ye.
But you know
West is also gone, by the way.
You know there's a new album coming out, right?
Yeah.
And this is
the commentary is that he's trying to promote
no doubt.
And he'll come back 2 months after the album launch and say,
my name is now Khan.
I really didn't change it at all. It's just I've decided to. And Trump says he and Kim Jong-un are in love. I love this man.
Yes, well, you are in love with him as well.
I'm in love with this.
I love Trump.
But let me just, so now he's in love with Rocket Man.
Yeah,
so
Rocket Man.
How do you trust somebody who, whatever that you are trusting him for, can change in just a month? How do you trust anyway? That's Donald Trump's headache.
Yeah.
But Kanye West, he says he's now called Ye.
Yeah.
So does that affect his wife, whose name might, if her wife is Kim Kardashian West, is she now Kim Kardashian Ye?
Kim Kardashian
is her child?
Is Kim Kardashian?
Is his child now called North Ye?
Has she ever changed her name to West?
Kim, I don't think she did.
Yeah, her name is, but she's Kim Kardashian.
Oh, is
West.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know she added the West, actually.
Yeah, West is
a great testament for women empowerment. You never change your name for a man.
Okay, so
by the presidential jets, President Akufo-Addo.
There's some rather very sad story in Indonesia. I don't know how a combination of tsunami.
You represent a company that sells private jets.
Well, if I could, no, I don't.
Okay, so I was just talking about a combination of earthquake and tsunami. Can you imagine that happening at once? But that's what was experienced last Friday in Indonesia. And we're told over 800 people are dead, lots more buried. They're struggling to get people out of the rubble. So it's one of the stories that you can check out. Sometimes you need to see these things so that you can appreciate where you are and your situation.
There's a collapsed hotel there that has about 50 people trapped in it. They're trying to bring them out. Brought out a dead body last night. But it's time for sports, and they're coming up with all the headlines from around the world of sports after this.